much you can't even take it in. And we're so
You can
excited
get
about
lost in it.
Yeah, you can. And so that's our problem,
Yeah.
is we have so much. So we have to focus. And one of the things that Tim and I have decided to do this year is to utilize and harness the gold that we have in with what Keller Williams just offers.
Right.
Like that bold class,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
When we were at
Gotta go.
when we were at Mega Camp and we were introduced to bowl training and seeing what that really looks like and what it entails, it was like a waterfall. You're trying to drink from a fire hose. You know, it's just crazy how much there is to it.
And so we've been trying to take it little steps at a time because there's so much. And so we thought it would be a great thing for all of us to meet once a week. We're meeting at the East Office, and I understand that you're gonna do one here and in Petaluma, and just have a power hour where each week we focus on something that's offered from Agent Mountain or something that's offered from the trainings. If you're feeling like, oh God, I don't wanna go to another seminar, I don't wanna go to another thing, you can do this anytime you want.
Mhm.
And so we just thought we'd walk through on the meetings that we've had so far. We've just asked everyone who's come, have you ever been on Agent Mountain? And every person said, what?
What's Agent Mountain?
What is Agent Mountain? And, yeah, and so what we've been doing is, I want to focus. I want to be the best at what I can be. And just like we talked about, how you talked about Jimmy Rex, that guy is so good at what he does. He's a rock star at what he does, but that's what he does.
Yeah, he focuses on his strength.
Yeah, and so
And
it's,
he sees it, but really, we all have the same goal, and that's one thing when we came to Keller Williams, we read this, we were like, heck yeah, to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living. And if you're not in real estate to have that or do that, then we shouldn't be in it.
Tim and I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I don't want to just play real estate. I don't want to pretend like I'm doing real estate. I want to be awesome at real estate. I want to be like the name, not just because I want to be great at this and have my name for myself. I want to do it because it's the right thing to do. And if we're going to do this job, I want to be the best at what I do.
And we have a place that you can go to hear people that make us feel little and tiny and insignificant because they do those 300 to 1,500 transactions a year. And they've got it so dialed in that they have lives at the same time.
Do you want me to show them how to get there?
Well, hold on a sec, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Okay,
You tell me
so
what
the
you-
next thing is we go, okay, so what are we gonna do about this information? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna focus? First thing is, what's our target?
What's your target?
Jimmy's target is on FSBOs and expires, okay? He's the best at that. That's not what I'm the best at, okay? Just like you said. It doesn't mean that I'm bad because I'm not the best at that. I'm the best at something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be the best at something else. What fits you? And then you go after it and go after those skills.
Right.
You can't be it all. I mean, maybe Jimmy can.
Well, you can go and hear, you can go and you
do
can
it all.
hear Jimmy Rex be phenomenal the way he is. And you can get all this training and you can go to Agent Mountain and learn from all these people. But unless you implement, so here's a quote, education without implementation is purely just entertainment. Going to see somebody do something amazing is just entertaining unless you try to go do it the way they are doing it.
So I would go to that thing tomorrow and I would focus and I would decide, am I going to do this? Is this what I want to do? And if I am, listen, because he's got the gold. And you're going to record that thing?
Mhm.
I mean, I think we should have it available to us so that we can rehear it again and record. So
Okay,
maybe if
it'll
you
be available
attend
after a
it-
while.
Yeah, if you can attend and then hear it again, because it's going to be so much
Yeah.
quality stuff. But you just have to decide, who are you? What are you going to do? Who am I going to be in real estate? What's going to be my skill? And then I'm going to go after it and make sure that I'm the best that I can.
Because when we think about all the different systems you want to use and all the different training you want to do, that's because we're trying to plan for the future. We're trying to create a business for ourselves for the future. And there's a great quote, it says, planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it right now. And that's
So we want to
really,
make a plan. So we need to go, what
Yeah.
am I going to do? What are going to be my steps? What's the next thing that I'm going to do today? If we're out of business, we go, okay, what's my plan? How am I going to get more business?
Wait, out of business, what are you talking about?
If you are out of business, then we need to figure a way.
What does
So
that
like,
mean?
for example, one of our buyer's agents said to us last week, okay, I've called everybody's on hold or whatever. I said, so what's our next step? Well, we're going to do our open house this weekend.
Right, in other words, it's not okay if you don't have a deal in escrow to do the things that you normally do, and if that doesn't work, it's not okay for that to be okay. There needs to be
Correct.
something else, some
Yeah.
other
So
step.
it's not okay. So if we have
What's
no
next?
business, what am I going to do today? And that's where we're going to end up at the end of this talk today. What am I going to do today? What am I going to do in the next 15 minutes to get some dang business in my office?
But in order to do
Because if I
that,
don't,
you have to know what your strengths are. Each of us, we have to know how to work in our strengths, because that's what's gonna get us to the next step.
Exactly,
That's
so you
what's
think,
gonna-
okay, what am I good at? Let's start from the beginning. What's the first thing I wanna do? What do I like to do? Because you know what, that's so amazing about our business? We can do what we're good at. Do you like people? Like, I actually like people, but I don't like mean people. I don't like mean people. So when I go to an open house, I love it because I get to pick the ones that are nice.
Yeah,
And I go,
and you get to send the bad ones to your competition.
yeah.
You know who you should talk to?
Yeah. Free.
Don't use that.
So we literally evaluate them as they come through and decide, hey, I really like them, that would be fun. And Tim has the best line in the world. Do you have an awesome agent that you work with?
No.
That's a question. Do you have an
What do
awesome
you,
It's awesome.
in order to be able to pick who you
No.
work with, what do you need?
people? You need to be there, but it's showing up.
That's Jimmy's thing, is you say the right thing, you say it enough times, and you say it to the right people. And that's, there's an abundance, exactly. Because doing an open house, there's just people walking in the door. It's like being on a car lot where people are wanting to buy a car. If they're coming in an open house, they're looking for an open house. They're looking for something.
Or they might be interviewing you or whatever. Open house is a whole nother topic we can
Yeah.
talk about another day, but the reality is, what are you gonna do right now? I need business today. I need business next week. I need it all the time. I have grandchildren.
Right.
Okay, so what's your why? But if
Yeah.
we're in this room, we're here to do it, so let's just be
Can I say
great.
something also?
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I'm just remembering from my coaching group this morning with it. This is an achievement level coaching group with agents that do a lot of business. And you can have 10 deals in escrow and be out of business.
Right.
That's right.
You get that, how that works?
That's right.
Because you can have 10 deals in escrow and then a big old fat donut month coming next month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we've
Sean,
experienced
should Sean
that.
got something?
Yeah. Sean?
Another way to just sum it up is you have to start every day at zero, and do whatever your strategy is
Yeah.
to get new people to talk
Whatever
to.
it is.
You have to start at zero
One
every
thing
day.
I learned in a training that, again, well, I don't remember if it was at Through Agent Mountain, but there's just so much gold that I love picking it out. And this is one of the good ones, which is people decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. And I just was thinking about, I have a young adults group that I lead at my church, and I was talking to them about the life that they envision for themselves in the future. And there's these pictures of, a family, there's a picture of this business person, there's a picture of these things, and it's like, one of them's, really, really down and out, depressed, no family, no children, there's these ideas. And if you don't want that, then it's gonna take some habits and disciplines to get away from that. And it's like whether or not you're willing to actually focus and do it to not get there. If you wanna retire at this age, there's gonna be habits. And habits are regularly working at something until it regularly works for you, right?
Every
I
one of
mean-
these little statements we get, and when you go to Mega Camp or any one of these things, and Tim and I are like, write it down!
Oh my God.
Write it down!
Yeah.
It's so powerful,
Yeah.
it's true. So all these are up in my office now. So there's just like, when I'm on the phone, it's like, I'm doing it again. I have to be reminding myself, I'm a self-motivated person, but I need those kinds of truths, because that's what they are, is they're truth. And they're
And-
truths because they're real.
And it focuses you back on your goal. It focuses you back because really you have to change the way that you look at things, and because then the things that you look at change. And if you are looking at making your dials, smiling and dialing, right? You're gonna be looking at dialing as a way to get to your goal, not as a horrible thing that you have to do to get business. It's gonna get you to where you're going.
So you
Yeah,
just need
and
to
the truth of a habit is, anything that you repeatedly do creates a habit. So if you repeatedly don't prospect, guess what you're doing? You're creating that habit. It's very difficult to break, very.
So what do
The
you
chains of habit are they're so light you don't feel them until they're too heavy to break.
Yes.
Good point.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
point. So what are we gonna do? Everybody in this room is a real estate agent. We all can't survive without closing our deals. We cannot do it. I'm not saying you have to be driven like we are, where we're just like driven because I wanna do something great.
Yeah.
And not just great for me, but great for our industry, so that no longer are we connected with people that are, slimy people, but that we are like well-respected people who are professionals.
Mhm.
That's what I want to be. That's what we want to be.
Yeah.
And we want to be models of what does that look like.
Right.
So this company is like that.
Yeah.
When we go to Mega Camp and you see thousands of them, and they're the top people. These are incredible people. If you want to see what it looks like, a whole conference building filled with those kind of people
Top-notch
that
people.
you want to model your life after, then you want to go to Mega Camp. If you want to see people who are striving to get there, go to Family Reunion. But if you want to see I want to know what I'm going to look like when I grow up in real estate, that's who you're going to see there.
Yeah.
And it is so awesome. And so Tim and I are making collections of great statements like this, and we're trying to implement what's already offered on here. And if you want to go for free, guess what? On Agent Mountain, you could go to all the past mega camps. They're all recorded.
Yeah.
And you can watch them anytime you want, and there's no
Great.
airfare.
There's no flight. There's no flight. There's no packing. There's no jet lag. It's just watch it.
It's all there. So if you don't want to go this year, we're going for sure.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to go, but you want to go, you can go when it's done.
Yeah.
It's on there like a month after it's been.
But what happens, and this is, everyone does this, and even I'm included, I don't do this as good as I want to, but when you come back with all these incredible notes, a lot of times it just goes on the shelf, or it just goes away, and you're like, you came back all fired up. Well, why were you fired up? Because they gave you tools, they gave you genius things that you could implement that day, as soon as you got home, and be productive, and completely change your life and your goal.
So Tim is the great implementer, okay? I have been doing this for a long time, and I just can only do so much, I gotta have a life, so I'm learning to get my life in order, follow the systems of giants who've gone before us, and make the steps. And so the way that we're doing that is, we got ourselves a coach, like a rock star coach who gets it, who's
Yeah.
incredible. And he's our kind of coach. I don't have to be the kind who has to pain and experience pain. I know what pain is like. I don't need that
No.
in my life. All somebody has to do is encourage me a little bit, and then I go for it, because I get it.
Yeah.
But if you need the pain kind, they have those kinds of coaches too.
Yeah.
So
The ones that
either
will
way-
just rock your house and
Yeah,
just
exactly.
shake your foundations.
Right. All you have to do is just give me a little inspiration and show me a person that did it before
Yeah.
me and that they're living that life. I can do that. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like, I will do that. So what we've decided to do is every week we're meeting in the mornings, and then it's 1 hour, and it's right after we've talked to our coach. We talk to our coach on Thursday mornings from 7 to 8, and then at 8 o'clock we have our meeting. So I am like, are you kidding? Fired up at 8 o'clock in the morning, because I just talked to our coach, who we can take anything to, and he's like, listen to this, listen to that, or he tells us, he goes, oh, you guys need to go to Bold. So guess what we're doing? We're gonna go to Bold, because he said that's the next thing we need
Yeah.
with who we are.
Yeah.
So
That's
we're,
gonna
He
change
told
your
us that
life.
anybody that we want to have on our team needs to go through Bold.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
That's good
he's
tip.
told us that, and so we're gonna do that.
And
And
why don't
do
you
what?
give yourself a $100,000 raise and go to Bold?
I'm not
seriously.
worried. I'm gonna go because it's the thing I
That's what it'll
need.
be.
Yeah.
And I wanna do something great, not just to make more money or any of that kind of, I wanna change the.
Change our environment, because our environment has bad reputation.
Right.
And if we change our environment, we change what is happening in the
And
world.
so that when people hear that's a Keller Williams agent, they're gonna go, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're like professionals.
World
Those
changing.
people are like incredible people. And I want a Keller Williams agent to represent me in my transaction.
Yeah.
So that's what we're wanting to do. And so that's what we do on Thursday mornings, is we're gonna pick a different thing from Agent Mountain. And we picked our super basic one, and we already did it the last time with one of the groups that was already there. But I think it's really valuable because it's just got a key nugget,
Yeah.
a key goal. Because we can see something incredibly great, but it can be so big that we won't imply it.
Yeah.
So today, we're gonna just look at this, it's only 6 minutes. And the one's by Diana Kokoska. She's got this power hour thing that's literally probably a minute.
Yeah.
I watch
It's
it.
so
I
packed.
have it on my phone. I have a Power Hour app on my phone that has her on there.
And
Diana-
Matt's coaching gets you that.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
it's so great. Like, if I'm like sitting waiting somewhere, I'll just watch one and I'll go, God, that was good.
I know. But if all you do 1 week is take one little nugget,
Yeah.
just take one, and you make that a habit, right? And like one of them was when I went and heard Sean Kokoska.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I heard Sean Kokoska at Family Reunion. I went to his thing, and one thing he said is asking yourself the right questions. Sometimes when you word the questions you ask yourself, a lot of times people will say something like this, like, what can I do to be more productive, right? But he said you can make that question that much more powerful if you just reword it a little bit. And so I wrote this one down. It says, how can I be even more productive than I am right now? Which implies that I already am productive, which implies that it's not what, it's how. It's like, I'm going to do whatever it is right now to become more productive than I already am.
So I have to ask myself that question about 100 times a day. So I'm sitting there working on 5 things like I'm not supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to focus, but I'm still doing it anyway, right? And so then I'm going, okay, stop. How can I be more productive than I am right now? I have that on my wall, on my door, so that if I'm going in or out, I have to remind myself constantly. Because the key is, we can get distracted.
Yep.
And how am I going to do something great if I'm constantly distracted? I have to focus on how can I be more productive. So in each thing that I'm doing, I go, okay, how can I be more productive on this? Okay, I'll do that. And then we do that. And so it's just implementing, that sounds so simple, but it was so profound for us.
Yeah, the multitasking thing, I was talking to Jimmy at the Petaluma Golf Tournament, and he's like, you know, my listing specialist was making for sale by owner calls, and he was struggling with appointments. He wasn't making appointments at the percentage that he needs to make appointments at, that the benchmark is for his team. And so Jimmy was coaching him, and he found out he was making his calls in his car while he was driving.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I mean, whether I mean, I'm assuming he had a hands-free kit, so that's not my point. My point is that you can't, you have to be laser focused on whatever it is you're doing to be productive at the level that task deserves. You know what I mean?
So people ask me, why in the world did you ever leave to go to Keller Williams? Why would you ever do that? I get asked that all the time.
All the time.
And so what I say is, I'll tell you why. Because I have Gary Keller personally as my mentor. On this Agent Mountain, you have Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, who both wrote Millionaire Real Estate Agent, talking to you anytime you want to listen to them. And those people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So why would I not listen to them? So I came to this company because I have those guys as my mentors.
Right.
How much better can you get than that? I don't think you can.
And we implement what they say.
Exactly, so they're gonna talk to you today, the two of them, and this is just a basic first one, it's only 6 minutes, but it's going to give you some basic truths, and when we're done, I wanna hear what basic truth that you got, that you think could make a difference in your career.
And that you could actually implement.
Yeah, write it down.
Just basic, okay,
Yeah.
not huge, and I don't wanna hear any stories about any past leads deals. Just specific, what's the kernel of truth that you could apply from what they have to say, it's only 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of you guys don't know how to get to this site, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
start at the
Thank
very
you.
beginning about how to get to this site. So you all know how to log on to the backside of Keller Williams. I'm sorry, to log on to your, you know, your
My KW.
Keller Williams dashboard, right here. I'm sorry, let me go back to it.
If
You
you
go to
just go to your
MyKW.
MyKW.
Here's your Keller Williams dashboard right here.
Right.
And so, and everybody, who does not know how to get here? Raise your hand, it's okay. All right, so if you know how to get here, then all you do is go to the home screen and you click on Agent Mountain. And it
It's
takes
really
you-
hard.
Yeah, it's very simple. Well, the thing about it is the reason it's on the home screen is because it is really a separate, it's separate.
Entity, yeah.
It's like Keller Williams University and KW Connect. It's a separate entity like Mass Coaching. It's that good, it's that extensive and that detailed.
But something that's really important is, if you go to MyKW and you go to Agent Mountain, you go to, first you go to Keller Williams University, there's a whole nother
Yeah.
world.
Oh,
Okay,
I haven't even delved into
another
that
whole
yet.
world, every course you could ever want to take, it has
Yeah.
you can look at it, you can take every course there ever was that Keller Williams has. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just outrageous.
Yeah, so there's KW Connect and then, KW University. And KW Connect, you can see, it's like being able to shadow somebody who does 300 deals a year on listing appointments and watch them in a listing appointment and sitting next to them
It's
at the table.
awesome.
It's awesome, it's phenomenal. So let's go back over to Agent Mountain. So here, which one, you want to play session 1?
No, it's session 4, because we felt
Okay.
like, we all know we're in the
Sorry. Go ahead.
We all know we're in the lead generation business. If we have no leads, we have nothing. So that's why I thought the most important, remember, how can I be more productive than I am right now? Have more leads. So that's what we're going to talk about, is having more leads. And you'll hear Jay here.
Awesome. Look at the lights.
About 6 years ago, we wrote a book, Millionaire Real Estate. We did the research. research, we came back and we said, here are 4 basic models that will help you determine your highest level of success.
That's right, the lead generation model, the economic model, the budget model, and the organizational model.
In the lead generation model, we said that there were 2 basic approaches to generating leads. That's right, prospecting and marketing. Okay. The research at that time, 6 years ago, said that you should be marketing based and prospecting enhanced. That's